Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got a special video for you. Today, The Lion King turned 30 years old, and giving a shout out to Grover Gridley for guessing the book. And this is The Lion King from 1994. So let's get started. The EMO came from far and near across the dusty African plains. They came on padding paws and pounding hooves and flapping wings. Each beast, from the tiniest ant to the largest elephant, made its way to Pride Rock, for that was the home of the Lion King, and this was a special day in the Pride Land. Today, Simba, the firstborn cub of King Mufasa and Queen, would join the great circle of life. The animals took their places and bowed to King Mufasa. Then Rafiki, the wise baboon, stood at the edge of Pride Rock and held up the little cub for all to see. A great cry rose from all the animals. The elephant trumpeted, the zebra whined, and the birds sang for joy at the sight of Simba, the future Lion King. But one animal did not join in the joyful ceremony. Scar, the king's jealous brother, stayed in his den. Later, Scar just laughed when the king's advisor, Zizu, the hornbill, criticized him. Then the evil lion popped the bird in his mouth. Scar would have eaten Ziza if Mufasa hadn't come along just in time. Zizo wrapped his feather off and scored it. As the king brother, you should have been first in line at Simba's ceremony. Scar green eyes glimmer. I was first in line until the little hairball was born. That hairball is my son, and your future king, Mufasa groaned. Scar shrieked away. Don't turn your back on me, Mufasa warned. Scar looked back over his shoulder, his eyes narrowed. Prepared, perhaps you should suddenly turn your back on me. Simba grew quickly. One morning, Mufasa took his son to the top of Pride Rock and told him the circle of life never stops turning. One day the sun will set on my turn as ruler and raise with you as king. Then everything the light touches will be yours. What about that shadowy place? Simba asked. Mufasa declared, you must never go there. Suddenly, Zulu swooped down and squawked. Hyena in the Pride Land. Mufasa frowned. Zizu took Simba home. Ah, Dad, can't I come? Simba whined. Mufasa shook his mighty mane. Fighting savage hyena was no job for a cub. Later, Simba asked his Uncle Scar about the shadowy place. An evil plan formed in Scar's mind. Only the bravest lion go to the elephant graveyard, Scar told him. He knew the foolish cub would go there just to prove his bravery. Scar was right. Simba couldn't wait to go to the elephant graveyard. When his best friend, Nila, but could they go with Zidu watching every move they made? We have got to dish the doo-doo, Simba whispered. Neela giggled and agreed. Soon the two friends found a way to escape their feather babysitter. Before long, the young lions had reached the darkest, mysterious place beyond the border of the Pride Land. Giant bones peeked out of the ground. It's kind of scary, Neela whispered. Let's check it out, Simba said. I laugh in the face of danger. Ha ha ha. He, cracked three mean hyenas. And Ed. Look, boys, a king fit for a meal, snickered. The cub ran, but soon found himself cornered. Simba stepped bravely in front of Nita and tried to roar. The hyena laughed and jeered. Simba opened his mouth to try again. This time the elephant bone rattled with a thunderous roar. The hyena was confused, and so was Simba, until Mufasa sprung into view. The mighty lion chased away the hyena. Zizu had seen the cubs in trouble and flew for help. Mufasa told Zeta to take Nita home. Then he scolded Simba for disobeying him. Ah, Dad, I was just trying to be brave, like you, Simba explained. Mufasa sighed. Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble, Simba. A good king is wise as well as brave. Simba suddenly felt very small. We always be together, right, Dad? Mufasa looked up at the starlit sky and said, the great kings of the past looked down on us from these stars. So, whenever you feel alone, just remember that these kings will always be there to guide you, and so will I. Later, Scar met with the hungry hyenas. I practically gave these cubs to you, he complained. They wasn't exactly alone, wine, but Scar had another plan that would allow him to be to become king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again, he promised. The hyena danced and cheered. The next morning, Scar took Simba to the bottom of a rocky canyon. Now wait here, he ordered. Your father has a big surprise for you. Will I like the surprise? Simba asked. Scar smiled silently. Oh, it's to die for, he said, as he walked away. Then he gave a sign to the hyenas waiting on the canyon edge. The hyena knew what to do. They chased a huge herd of wild beasts down the canyon. Simba felt the earth shake. He heard the chattering of thousands of hoofs. Then he saw the wild beasts heading straight for him. Simba managed to climb a dead tree and cling to a branch. Hey, he shouted. Help was on its way, for Scar had found his brother Mufasa. Simba trapped in a stampede, Scar cried. Just as Scar had planned it, Mufasa rushed to Simba's rescue. He lifted his son to safety, but then fell under the rushing tide of hooves. Dad, Simba shouted. He couldn't see anything through the huge dust cloud. Mufasa tried to pull himself up the steep rock from above. Scar watched his brother struggle. Help me, brother, help me, Mufasa pleaded. Scar reached for Mufasa's paw. He pulled his brother close and whispered, Long live the king. Then Scar let go and watched Mufasa tumble down the steep slope. When the stampede was over, Simba found his dad laying lifeless in the dust. No, Simba wailed. Scarf came to the sobbing club side. What have you done? He accused. There was wild beasts everywhere. He tried to save me. It was an accident, Simba said in a rush. I didn't mean to, of course not. But if it wasn't for you, he'd still be alive. What will your mother think? Scar demanded. Simba looked stricken. What should I do? Run away, Scar advises. Run away and never come back. Scar watched Simba run. Then he sent the hyenas after him. The hyena chases Simba to the border of the promised land, of the Pride Land. The cub divided into the thickets of thorns at the edge of the great desert. The hyena looked at the sharp thorns, then at the desert. The cubs won't last a day out there, declared. Simba ran until he couldn't run no more. The thirsty cub collapsed on the sand. Vultures circled him hungrily, but Timba, wait, Timothy, the merkit, and his friend Puma, the warthog, chased away the vultures. Simba woke up in their jungle home. Where are you from? Timba asked. Simba sighed. It doesn't matter. I can't go back. What did you do, kid? Puma wondered. Something terrible, Simba replied. Timba shrugged. Who cares? We got to go past. Wait, we got to go put the past behind you. What? Simba asked. Simba replied, it means no worry. That's the motto we live by. And here we live on. Timba shouted. I showed Simba a waggly insect. Simba watched Puma eat a grub, slimy but satisfying. The warthog said with a burp. Simba frowned, but he ate the big grout. Then the cub smiled and said, in the months that followed, Simba ate many grubs and grew into a full-size lion. Most of the time, he was happy with his friends, Timba and Puma. Yet he had missed his mother and often thought of his father. One night, as they gazed up at the stars, Simba remembered what his father had told him. He wondered if the great king of the past really was looking down from those stars. Simba felt very alone. The next day, Simba heard Timba scream. The young lion raced to the rescue. A hungry lioness was about to pounce on Puma, who was stuck under a log. Timba bravely was trying to protect his friend. Simba gave a mighty roar and leaped at the lioness. But just as they began to fight, Simba recognized his old friend, Nita. He gasped in disbelief. The lioness looked deep into the eyes of a handsome young lion and whispered, Simba, Scar told us you were dead. Nita told Simba how terrible thing was now that King Scar and his hyena ruled the Pride Land. There was no food or water, and many of the animals had fled. But you can come back and become king. Then everything will be right again, Nita said. I'm no king, Simba said angrily. But that night, Ru, wait, the monkey, the baboon came to Simba and promised to bring him to his father. When Simba looked up at the stars, he heard a familiar voice. Simba, his father asked, "Have you forgotten me?" Simba gasped, "No, how could I? You had forgotten who you are, and so had forgotten me." The ghostly voice continued. "Look inside yourself, Simba. You have more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life." Simba knew his father was right. His friend returned with him to the proud land. Back at the proud rock, King Scar was angry with for not finding food. Suddenly, Scar heard a great roar. He couldn't believe his eyes. "Mufasa, it can't be. You are dead," but recognized her son. "Simba," she said softly, "I come to take my place as king," Simba roared. But Scar would not back down so easily. Simba leaped at Scar, but the villain slipped away. Instead, the hyena rushed at Simba. Pride Rock echoed with their highness laughter as the hyena forced Simba to the edge of a cliff. Scar walked up to the exhaled young lion. "Your daddy isn't here to save you." This time, Scar taunted. Then he pushed Simba off the cliff. Simba clawed, scrambling for a hold on the steep slope. "This looks familiar," Scar sneered. "Oh yes, I remember. It's just the way your father looked before I killed him." At last, Simba knew the truth. With a mighty roar, he leaped at Scar. Meanwhile, Timba, Pumbaa, and the lioness had chased the hyena off Pride Rock. When Simba sent Scar flying over the cliff, the villain landed into the mob of hungry hyenas. He. They cracked curiously, finding they had a meal fit for a king, or a king fit for a meal. Simba thanked his friends. Then he walked to the top of Pride Rock. His roar echoed through the Pride land. The rightful king had taken his throne. The plain was soon lush and green again. The animal returned, and the hunting was good once more. Simba knew that a king must have a queen, so of course he chose the beautiful Nila. Before long, the animal came again from far and near across the dusty African plain. This time they came to greet the firstborn cub of King Simba and Queen Nita. Waizo Bamboo stood at the edge of Plain Rock. He held up the cub for all to see. The elephant trembled, and the zebra whined for the joy as the future Lion King joined the great circle of life. So that was The Lion King from 1994. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.